Is it recording? No. Oh.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Able to record to the cloud. So.
I've never gotten that notification. I know, it said unable to record to the cloud, which I don't know.
But it's working now, right?
It says it's recording.
Okay, great. Being 7 o'clock on December 15th, 2021, we'll bring the Tilton Budget Committee to order. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. We'll have Robert Hardy of the Parks Commission. And Tim, we can go over your, actually present your budget.
Okay. Want me to?
Sure, come right up.
You have a copy of it? Right?
Yes, yeah.
Whoa.
And does everybody want copies of this?
Oh, no, I remember what.
I think it's the same as last year, except for.
Was it in our packets?
I don't think.
Not tonight.
Yeah. Did we get these before?
They get these before?
I don't know about that particular, yes, it was emailed last week. But,
Okay.
There is in the budget itself, there's a breakdown of all the components of the Parks Commission budget. On page.
Is this the budget detail?
Page 10.
Oh, yeah, in this.
Towards the bottom of page 10.
I mean, I
I
can,
can make a copy right now. If you like the other sheet. Would you prefer that?
capital, yes.
Yeah, I have one here. Oh, yeah, it has a pretty good breakdown right here anyway.
Yeah, pretty much there.
Yeah. This is,
You didn't want to take one and pass it. Here's yours. I haven't marked anything, so.
Something like that. It's bigger.
yeah.
So yeah, just running right down this, we had 3,100 budgeted for landscaping, which includes Vest Pocket and Civil War. Those prices have been confirmed by the contractor that does that. Security repairs, we put it, Tim and I talked and agreed on $1,000 that if something comes up, we need that for the roof repairs was taken out of this year's budget. So for a total of $4,100 for maintenance cost. Operating cost, electricity runs right around $1,300 for Riverfront and the 132. Sewer is $175. Water is $250. Cleaning, we spend $1,600. cleaning, and that's strictly for riverfront. Janitorial supplies is $450. Irrigation is $500. That includes turning the pump on in the spring and shutting the pump off and pressurizing lines, blowing the lines out in the fall of the year. Porta potties are $700. It says just riverfront, but that's actually riverfront and 132 is that $700. The only porta potty we need at riverfront is the one at the Christmas parade, but 132 we keep them there during the winter for the ice skating, and once we develop that, we'll need them for the summer. So miscellaneous supplies, we put in 360. Operational cost is 450 for a total of 5,785. So program cost, we're hoping to get knuckleballs back again this year. It's all going to depend on COVID, so that may not come about. The animal educations, we will do 2 wildlife encounter shows again, like we have in the past. I'm also looking and just sent an email off Monday, I think, was to On the Wings. It's out of I think it's Brentwood. She is a rehab that works with owls and hawks and does live animal shows as well. I don't know what she charges or anything, so but the 900 would cover all of our programs there. So scarecrow contest is 400. That's the awards for the scarecrow contest, as well as some advertising if we need to advertise it. Christmas parade is 4,600. That includes the 3,000 for the fireworks that we have to pay.
And what are the other expenses in that fund?
Prizes we give.
Okay, so there's parade prizes.
Prizes.
Yeah.
Printing flyers, printing information.
Yeah.
That's all in at 4,600 for the Christmas parade.
And maybe some gifts to.
That would, this year we didn't have to, because not having it in 2020, we had enough stuffed animals, but we're down to, I think it's 12 stuffed bears. So we will have to purchase some new bears or dogs, not bears, dogs, but stuffed animals anyway, pass out. The books that we handed out, that was all covered by
Raven
Blaisdell Foundation.
Right.
There's another word in there, I forget. I do have it in my notes. So
That's okay.
anyway, they teamed with us, and it sounds like they're going to team with us on other events like the wildlife encounters and Blaisdell Foundation. They worked through the Hall Memorial Library, and for the Christmas parade, each kid got a book and a coupon that he can bring into the library and turn the coupon in for a second book. So, and they covered the entire cost of purchasing all the books, and they handled passing them out. They had 3 people or 4 people there during the parade passing the books out. So it works out. This was the first year they approached us. I guess they have done it with the movie in the park once this summer, and they're going to team up again next year or next summer with that program too. So spring egg hunt, The 500 there is pretty much just the candy that we need for the egg hunt, so. Commission costs are all the same as last year. We do have 600 in for specific advertising, miscellaneous dues, meetings, etc. We have $100. Our stipends come to 1,600. Security in the park is another 1,600. Summer employees 5,000. And this year we discussed and decided that we've reached the point that we really need a secretary to take our minutes, put the agenda out there, advertise our meetings and everything. So we're looking at 4 to 5 hours a month for the secretary. And that figure I came up with, the 1,000 from talking with the Conservation Commission. That's about what they spend on their secretary. So total for the year is 26,985. So
And there's 11,000 or something that's encumbered for the roof.
Tim is working on that. 12,000 was 12.5 was out of this year's budget.
Right.
Will be put towards the roof. Yes.
Was the bill for the new irrigation pump paid?
Yes.
So that didn't have to be encumbered.
No.
Now, security in all parks, what is that the contract we have with Mango or something?
That just covers if something breaks, right?
It does, but part of that is there's about $600 in internet costs so the PD can surveil Riverfront Park from dispatch as well.
Okay. Because there's security here and security repair. So one is hard.
If I remember correctly, the repairs was regarding one of the doors that required replacement.
Bathroom?
The bathroom door.
Oh, the bathroom door, yeah.
Yeah,
That was
it's-
the bathroom door up here. Any questions for?
Is the difference from last year to this year, the 11,000 that it went down, that roof repair?
Yes. Yeah.
About how many events are in Riverfront Park a year?
As far as sponsored by us,
No, like who rents it? How many rentals a year do you have?
we usually get on the average of the summer months, June, July, and August, we usually get 2 rentals a month. May, September, and October, we could get 1. I mean, some months we have had it between our programs and rentals booked every weekend and so forth. I mean, that's of the ones that book it. Now, we also get people that just show up during weeknight or so and have an event there. And they don't want the kitchen. They just set up on the 4 picnic tables under the pavilion and use it. So
So how many reservations have we taken over this year? Do you know?
as I said,
I mean, I mean, a rental, people actually pay for it, right?
well, I mean, we have no paid,
Okay, no paid.
no
So it's
paid
just actually reservations is what I saw.
reservations. Yes. I think that's
Time
what
when- yeah.
Judy was asking.
Yeah.
She said rental, but I was explaining reservation why. So
There is that deposit.
Right, a returnable deposit.
deposit,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
Yeah, I mean, occasionally someone will actually pay $100
That's correct.
to use it as a function. I know Mike Tennant has done that a couple times.
Right.
Just to have a fundraiser for themselves.
So,
Right.
yes.
But,
I don't think,
and you have 2 wildlife encounters,
yep,
the Christmas parade and the egg hunt.
egg hunt, Halloween.
Yeah, Halloween.
I don't think we had any paid rentals this year. I know he scheduled one, but he canceled it, I
Okay.
believe, so we refunded the $100 to him. And
Everything diminished with COVID.
yes,
I guess we're good.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I had some questions just off, about, what were the Christmas cards that were sent out? Was that the thank yous?
That was the thank yous.
Oh, thank yous, okay.
Tim just put Christmas cards.
Okay, those were
Ellie.
those were Ellie's thank yous, right?
Once, yes.
I have my own that I.
You have to bring yours
Okay.
in for Tim to send out. I have to do mine up to send out too and everything. And that's in that Christmas
Okay.
figure and everything, the postage there. So,
Did you notice that the felt costumes were there?
yeah, I sent you.
I haven't got anything, yeah. Did you text me or?
I texted you.
Okay, well, maybe I didn't look at my phone.
I texted you that.
Okay.
That next morning, I stopped that night.
Okay, great. So I'll go pick them up in the.
The felt costumes are in there. The one centerpiece that I asked you to call on, the paperwork is under
okay.
on the clipboard. It was one at the silent auction for 15.
Okay,
So
I have to pick that up and they're gonna pick it up at the hardware.
yeah, I
Oh, okay.
assume they would. Nobody's called them or anything,
Oh,
so
okay.
call them.
Okay, great.
And usually you call and make the arrangements to
Sure.
pick it up. So, but yes, just talk a little bit about the Christmas parade. It was very successful this year. I want to say we brought it in right around $500 so far. Billy's still selling the raffle tickets. If anybody wants raffle tickets, he has them at the store. And we have probably 25 gift cards to raffle off next week. And we did a bunch of silent auction items, and those went over, I think it was around $500 that we made on the silent auction items. So no stove this time. So, or grill it was last time that you bought. And then you sold it to me. So.
And apparently there were some cleanup costs, which I'm confused
Talked to
about.
Tim. Not only did they clean up a Surratt, but they went up to the arch
Oh, okay.
and cleaned the arch up. So
Oh, okay.
that's
Yeah.
where the cleanup costs.
Because they're,
Kevin was over there bright and early Sunday morning and cleaned it up. So what you were seeing
well, we cleaned up what was left.
right,
Yeah.
right. And that's what I told Tim, that when I got there around 4 o'clock Sunday and walked around, I didn't see anything.
We walked the arch too on the way, and there was nothing up there.
Up there.
That was Saturday, but yeah.
So
But I guess the time is put in there to check it out.
yes.
So
Okay.
great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have anything you want to talk about?
Just a couple of things I can point out.
Sure, yeah.
I'll wait for you downstairs.
Okay, all right, sounds good. All right, so in the update tonight, there were a few changes, and essentially these are regarding some of the things that we've already talked about. The fuel for the police department and public works Both of those fuel lines were increased to account for the usage and projections, and hopefully we'll spend less, but you'll see those increases. Vehicle maintenance, the new cruiser deliveries are not improving as yet. So where we were hoping to have something early in the year, it looks like it's going to be late summer before we will receive anything. And there's already one of the 2017 cruisers, which sounds old, but it's one of our newer ones, is having a transaxle. I should say the director is concerned about the transaxle and transmission of that cruiser. So I believe it was $5,000 was added to the vehicle maintenance line. And then in sanitation, I went through and I really scrubbed, because if you recall last week, I had just gotten word of the increased tonnage cost. So I went through and I really looked at all of our history for recycling, solid waste, examined our contract, and we also had at that point completed the extension with Pinard, so our costs were then cemented for 22, and in doing so, I was able to bring that down slightly, and it was better distributed. One of the issues that we've had in sanitation is the amnesty week and construction and demolition costs. So basically, anytime somebody goes to the transfer station, when that material is picked up, it's at a different rate than our tipping fees at the incinerator. It's different from your curbside trash. So slightly higher, not hugely higher, but slightly higher. And then there's also the hauling that has to be done for those, and different locations that take it are different, different distances from our transfer station. So in any event, it really needed to be the construction and demolition line. I'm going to suggest the selectmen change that to transfer station construction demolition costs, something of that sort, because it's more clear that those are costs specific to the transfer station. And it really just all depends on what happens at Amnesty Week. I mean, we had 104 air conditioners just taken away in November. So these things don't all go at the same time, but there's a significant cost to disposing of things like that, and also the transportation costs of those. So that's that sort of thing that we're dealing with. But in any case, I feel much better about those numbers and where they are. It only includes about 25 new bins in that as well, and it's a little on the light side, but this last year I think we did 35 bins, either for new homes or for ones that have been destroyed or damaged or lost or stolen or what have you. Lastly, there were a couple of minor changes in some personnel lines. There was a resignation in one of the departments, and as such, the hours were slightly reduced for that position, and some of the responsibilities moved to another person, so that there wasn't a huge change there. And then in another, there was an employee that was exiting their probationary period that received a small increase, and that's also reflected in this.
What category are those under?
One was under the administrative budget and one was under public works. But those were minor in comparison to sanitation, vehicle maintenance, and fuels. And that's really the only change tonight. So the increase went up slightly. The only other thing you may have seen today is that the Federal Reserve announced that they're projecting 3 rate increases next year. So once I can relax and look at what that's going to mean for us, I don't think, considering the types of changes they're looking at, it's going to vastly affect the short-term interest expense that I already upped, but it is concerned because we have to lock in January, and it's without having a lot of knowledge. I just hope the we're still looking at the same kind of rate structure, and I haven't had a chance to confirm that with the bank. But as I said before, we were looking at, for the longest time, about another 1% cost for a tax exempt tax anticipation note in 2022. And when I upped the amount, I figured that that would cover us for about a 1 to 1.25% cost. So I think we're still in that realm, hopefully. Otherwise, I'll be back. So that's really the
Did you
only.
do animal control?
Oh, yes, thank you. The only other item was that it's very likely we're not going to be, and the selectmen have yet to decide this, but the recommendations going to the board are going to mean that we're looking at less cost and possibly on a per use basis. So we took that from 5,500 down to 3,000. So just so you know, last year we had a total of 12 animals. I should say in 21 year to date, there have been 12 animals that have been taken by our PD to Birch Hill Kennel. So and that's at a $5,500 cost. So by going, because that's a set fee, so we could have taken 120 and it would have been 5,500. But in any event, so the board will be reviewing 3 different alternatives, one of which is Birch Hill Kennel tomorrow night. And they'll make their decision, but more than likely it's going to be in that $3,000 range.
Nice.
And you'll probably really vote on like planning at that meeting tomorrow night too?
So that's just the cost from Lakes Region Planning that they've sent us based on per capita. And so I fully expect that when the board starts voting, and I'm going to be asking them to vote on certain areas of the budget tomorrow night, that would just be approved.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have that resource.
This is just a weird question. We have Old Home Day under Culture and Recreation for the town, but they're an outside agency.
Yeah, there are a number of items in here that people would like to move around, but I know that the board is concerned, particularly people that have served on the budget committee in the past. They're concerned about moving things because then that changes the history and what people are expecting to see. So we had discussed actually moving some things at the last selectmen's meeting, and the concern was strong about moving some of those lines around, even though it's not going to change the overall bottom line budget. It's just sort of putting them in a more appropriate, what seems to be a more appropriate area. But because people have seen it this way for so long, there's sort of reticence to change it.
Tilton Northfield Old Home Day, right? It's not just Northfield Old. So it's actually.
They're just an Old Home Day.
Yeah, I think it's Tilton Northfield. So we're actually partners with them.
Right. What I'm saying is outside agencies are here. It's an outside agency. So that's why I was asking why it was in the Tilton budget, not in still the Tilton budget, but under the outside agencies.
Well, I think it's not really an outside agency. It's part of Tilton is.
No,
No, it's an outside agency.
They're
They
a
have their
private
501.
nonprofit.
All right.
They're
I guess,
501c3.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's a private nonprofit.
Yeah.
There was a time, though, it wasn't.
back in the
Okay.
old days,
Oh, yeah, that is not a
when you walked
Just
up
like
the
the Pine.
hill, both ways.
problem.
And it was
Right.
The Pine
Okay,
at one time was not a private nonprofit.
yeah,
Yeah, that was part of our,
right.
Things
When we were, it
change.
was over here. We used to play basketball here, right here.
yeah, Tilton Rec Center.
Oh, the other one.
Yeah, and dances. Go to any of the dances here? They used to have dances. up here.
So unless there are any other questions for me, I'm just going to go meet with Bob and I'll be back
Okay,
in case you have anything else you want to ask.
thank you.
Thank you, Tim.
All right, so we could vote on the Parks Commission budget.
Make a motion to accept the Parks Commission budget as presented.
I will second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And 2 abstentions? 2 abstentions, since we're opposed. All right, so I guess we review the minutes.
Where's the facts on the budget? Is that under the?
It's at the bottom of page 10, under culture and recreation.
It's okay, on to the December 8th minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll second. I couldn't even find any grammatical mistakes.
Try and go.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Okay, 1 abstention. All right, so where do we go from here? We're pretty much caught up on all the outside agencies. And so really, I guess our focus, thank you, is on the town.
Yeah.
Here
The
would
Lakes
be,
Region planning on the outside agency is blank. The budget committee vote.
Lakes Region Planning. Yeah, we'll wait until what the selectmen do with that. Probably tomorrow night, I think they're voting on that.
And they just talked about animal control.
Right, yeah, so that's still in the air.
Do you want to vote on it?
They haven't done a contract on animal
They
control yet,
haven't.
So
right?
we're gonna just write 2,000.
We'll wait, yeah,
Oh,
until
wait.
until we know what's going on with that, yeah.
And are we keeping this line alternative recreation? I think at one point, wasn't that for teens or something? We kept $1 in there. I can't remember what it was for.
Yeah, they had $1 in there before, but
Yeah,
I think they just want to keep it as an option for at some
well,
point,
the 0 comes off.
Yeah, the 0, it'll come out.
yeah.
It's been a lot of things
Yeah.
in my tenure. Some of it controversial. Well, some of it, I know there was a group that was intent on eliminating the Pines Community Center and wanted
Yes.
Tilton to do their own thing. I don't know if you
We
remember
never got
that.
Yeah. So do we want to keep $1 with 0?
I would just keep 0.
I agree with Billy.
Yeah, 0.
I don't know
We
how
have to vote.
I mean,
everybody else thinks.
we may have
Yeah, that's
some
fine with me.
Judy?
blowback from the selectmen on some of these changes we've made, so,
Oh, well,
we'll see.
Yeah,
not my problem.
You're right, right.
yeah, it's our budget.
Yeah.
And they have their budget. Am I seeing that the merit raise pool is based on 4%?
Yeah. What was that, on admin?
Yeah,
Is that through a union?
It should be only 2% at best.
I don't think anybody else in this community would get
4%.
4%.
Where did it say 4%?
I'm looking on page 2
Yeah.
and I'm squinching. Partway down, line 266,
Oh, yeah.
merit raise pool.
4%.
Merit raise
average.
based upon 4% average.
Well, they're coming to talk to us on January 5th, right, Lisa?
Hmm.
So we can bring that up.
to know what the replacement chairs on top of page 3.
Say it again.
150 times 7,
Chairs for. admin.
equipment purchase.
Huh.
Yeah, he did go over that.
It's to replace these chairs,
These type chairs, yeah,
because they're building it, they're cabinet.
they're changing the table, right?
It's building a table.
Okay, right.
Right here?
Yes, yeah.
This table was donated.
Yeah, this is Providian's tables, right? Is that,
Why do they have to replace it?
Oh,
Scott, do you know why they're
Because-
replacing it? Or?
It was, quite know the impetus behind it, other than to create a more consistent look. But Kevin's taking, wood from one of the trees that was removed from the island and making it out of that. So it's got a natural edge and everything, so.
So not round, still gonna be.
So it's gonna be, I think it was gonna be.
Oh, one of those kind, like a smile face.
Yeah. So I'm sure it'll be.
So for aesthetic purposes,
Yeah, I mean, the
We're
chairs
getting
I
a new-
understand,
Luckily,
but
the table is free.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
what are they gonna do with these?
I don't think that's, I think we'll wait to decide on that when we hear that the other table is gonna be ready for.
Yeah, because the
installation.
glasses, the glass, and these tables are solid.
Yeah, these are beautiful tables. I remember
Yeah.
sitting at meetings in the Providian Bank with these.
yeah, the nice tables.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out why the police department's budget is so high.
Hmm.
$86,365.
We are the highest, most expensive police department in the state
Per
per
capita.
capita. And I remember I asked Bob Cormier last year, and he says it's exit 20, which is, and when they started building that, I was on the planning board, and everybody that was against this is going to create
Yeah.
huge increases in all your infrastructure costs, which has come true.
Oh, that's why I voted no.
Well, they got the top, the equipment on the vehicles is 45K right there. Higher than last
Oh,
year.
where'd you find that?
Page 10,
Is that the police you're talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah,
Yeah, they're trying to buy new vehicles.
but they're coming in January 5th also, or?
Yes.
oh, there
She
it
said
is.
she can make.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's. the
Jeannie
biggest
and-
chunk.
That's about
Cheap.
half of it.
yeah. Is that half of the increase?
Oh,
The
yeah.
equipment,
And
the
then there's
equipment purchase piece.
22K on retirement.
Yeah, the equipment purchase piece is the third cruiser, because the other two have already been, the money was allocated out of different funds. And
Mhm.
this one is one that we're looking at to get.
This one gives them a third new cruiser.
So the only other really big increase is the long-term debt, which we knew was going to be kicking in
Yeah.
this year.
Which could change before town meeting depending on. Because I got the alert from IRS that the interest rates were gonna go up.
Here's the Federal Reserve.
So really good.
So retirement is the 22,000, that's a good chunk.
Yeah.
That went up, the PD. More people retired.
I don't know, it doesn't look like, if you look at their salaries and stuff, they didn't really go up. They got, overtime went up by 1,000, but the rest went down. Holiday salaries.
Well, this says they took 20,000 and put in public works equipment from the PD retirement fund.
That was to pay for the tractors,
But they took it out of health insurance.
because because of the turnover.
Yeah,
They had a
they had it left over.
shortage of people working, so we actually saved,
Yeah.
There was extra there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they-
Transferred
So
that.
are we giving it back
So
in this budget?
it doesn't need to go back.
Because it's still 22,000 more than last year, and you had extra.
Well, they're expecting to have a full complement of officers at in the new year.
Yeah, they used about 77.5%. Interesting.
They're coming in January. Is there any on here that we finished?
There.
Health and welfare,
Mine is probably because that was Tim, right?
health and welfare.
Oh, health and welfare, that's right.
Health and welfare. Public Works is here.
Mhm.
And the kitchen. Continuing one more year with that contract.
Does anyone know the senior center, 7,200 per request? It says senior center maintenance. That might be a Tim question.
I believe part of that is insulation. So.
Again?
Insulation work, it's not, it wasn't complete, it wasn't done.
It wasn't finished, I think.
Yeah.
Mm.
Needs to, the roof, I know the roof needs to be insulated. So, and there's also a piece, I don't know if it was written in this or if it comes out of other funding. They have to upgrade the alarms, the surface there because it was well aged for similarly. So
What page is the senior center on?
Well, it's 3, but it's only the one line.
It carries over to 4, and it says utilities, maintenance and transportation costs. So would utilities and transportation costs be considered routine maintenance?
Utilities, maintenance, and transportation costs.
Isn't there a separate account for the van that they purchased?
That was some kind of a grant, wasn't it? Yeah.
To purchase it?
Maintenance is on us.
Yeah, I think it covers a lot except the drivers.
We could ask Tim what the transportation costs are
Sure.
on that. Now, this budget is crazy high.
Well, sanitation, it's another one that's.
Yeah.
Up 12%. A lot of, actually, because of the long-term debt and the sanitation, most of it would have been possibly down. Police, of course, is consistently high, but.
The public works budget is up 24,000.
Right. And that was for, they had to do some work in the building for air quality. And then they pumped up the fuel prices.
Yep.
And
They've got training for those 2
and the
CDLs.
right, the training for, which in the long run should save us money.
And their merit raise is 4% also in highway.
Yeah,
What was that?
Merit raise is
Oh, yeah,
4%.
yeah.
instead of-
4%.
So the town has its own system for merit, or is there a union? Is it just the police that
The
have a
police is
union?
the only union.
Officers.
Okay. So the town has its own system.
Yeah, the merit raise pools are managed by the selectmen. 2021. Almost 3%.
For the PD, 4% was, must be contractual merit raise.
The 4% merit raise would be the chief, all those who are not part of the union.
Oh, so they're doing, British trying to do
I don't know what
4%.
the makeup is now. Did you guys finalize a contract, right, with the union?
Yeah, that was done last,
Was that last year?
yeah.
I couldn't remember.
That was before I came on, they were final.
So police and public works and sanitation are our biggest jumps.
Yeah. Yes,
They are high.
yes.
What was that, Christine?
I just was saying police and sanitation and public works are our biggest jumps, and I said they are high.
Yeah, so there's a,
The long-term debt is one of the biggest
isn't that frightening?
increases. Yeah, well, we knew that was coming, but
We know.
unfortunately.
Thank you for our new PD. Now, is Public Works hired? They have an extra person, right? Yeah. they
Right.
do.
I think they're a full complement now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Hopefully we can shave something off.
Good, because the public will be happy.
Well,
I mean, the other side of this is revenues. If there's any way that we can, manufacture more revenue would be a help, but I'm not sure what other options there are. I know we don't really get a good cut from the rooms and meals, according to Tim, because the
I was gonna
state
say,
takes
the
most of
state
that.
messes with that all the time.
Right, unless there's something we can look into and change that, but
That's a state formula.
Stop
Right.
taking our money.
It goes on percentage by population.
Yeah,
It doesn't
taking
take
our
into
money.
account how much you're bringing in the municipality.
That's right.
It's very, very slanted. I was
They don't
actually-
consider what we contribute.
Correct. I was very, very surprised by that.
Yeah.
Senator Guida was, I didn't know.
Yeah.
When he brought it, I was just like, the fact that the percentage of some of the municipalities around it, it's equal. But they don't have the numbers that we're bringing in and we're generating, which seems like it's a system that is very flawed. Very flawed. Because if we're shouldering the burden of those types of businesses, then we should get a higher cut.
That's right,
Mhm.
because we have to police.
Correct. I mean, everything, police infrastructure.
right,
all of it. So,
yeah.
I think at one time Northfield was getting more
they still are.
and contributing
You're right. They still
way
are.
less.
Because obviously they don't have
The tax
they
base that
don't
we
have
have.
the
Yeah.
room rentals, they don't have the food.
Yeah.
So, the restaurants.
It's interesting.
It's
And
similar to
frustrating.
the school formulas,
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I think this one's even more slanted than the school formula.
It is.
Well, if we want to look into that, we can always make a recommendation at town meeting that we have a committee to change that. I mean, if we think that's.
Get on there, fight the legislature.
There we go.
I'm with you on that one. I've done that for a while.
Yeah,
Should we, the health and welfare stuff seems like we've gone over it a couple times. It's represented.
that sounds good. Did we vote on that yet? Oh.
I don't know.
That's with,
Page.
that was Heather, right? And,
Right, it was Heather.
yeah, and that seemed to be very,
It's on.
they haven't even
State
expended
six.
everything.
on the bottom on page 6.
Oh, we did go over this. I've forgotten.
They have a big $48 increase.
Telling you, it's huge. We're big spenders, Heather and I.
So that is, where is that now?
It's on page 6.
Okay, so that's coming out.
In fact, I would suggest we level fund it and take the 48 out of the health officer miscellaneous expense.
Is that a motion?
Sure,
So is that 92,474?
yeah.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion? All those in favor of making the total health welfare 92,474? Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
I'll abstain.
Okay, one abstention. Yeah.
Even though you just cut your own miscellaneous. budget.
Well, you know, it's one of those kismet things.
Yeah. All right, so
What about IT? Can you present an IT?
yeah, that's, I mean, areas that are in the negative.
Yeah,
We
that
probably
one
should
down. We better
vote-
jump
vote-
on that one.
Yeah, right.
Now.
Yeah, right.
Casey comes back.
So administration will be talking to Jeannie about that. And then we have town clerk tax collector, that's down, so all those in favor of,
Wait, are we moving from IT to town tax collector?
Starting at
I
the
was,
top and
I just
going
started
down.
top and going down to hitting the
okay, excuse me.
negatives.
Okay, tax collector.
Unless we think we should take more out, but,
Well, isn't this the one that people are supposed to be voting on and not, the town people vote on? Is this that one again?
The raise, her raise. The town
Oh, the
people
raise.
supposed to vote on.
Maybe the raises because she's an elected
Yeah.
official, so that she-
and actually the
Or whoever's selected.
the salary is got down 3,000 because we've got a changeover.
But then there was a request for,
Some of the
Okay,
deputies is
okay,
down.
I'm looking at the wrong line. This
But
is
that
the
could-
actual.
Yeah, that
okay.
could change at town meeting. Whoever's elected could request.
Sure,
So
right.
it's a-
The selectmen will be prepared to deal with that at the deliberative session.
So will we be prepared to? Will we? Yes.
If
It becomes a-
it gets voted in.
So, correct.
Motion to accept the town clerk tax collector budget of $127,801.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right.
Can you say the amount again? It was 127,
801.
8.
All right, then finance is also
Negative.
down. And
make a motion to accept 132,807 for finance.
Second.
any other discussion?
Where are we?
The next one is
Finance.
after town clerk is finance.
Oh, finance.
Totals on
Yeah,
page.
and the total is-
309,229.
Yeah, 132,807, yeah,
I have to squint.
up here.
And Judy, what was that?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm looking at long-term debt. I'm telling you, I don't know why my glasses are not focusing.
807.
I think it's this wonderful light.
Yeah, right.
Oh, there we go. Thank you. I got it. I'm with you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Then we go on to,
IT. Back to that one.
IT.
if you want to skip finance long-term debt, right? Or do you want
He
to do
said he
it?
wanted to finalize the interest rates and stuff.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So we'll go to IT. And that is at 99,061.
Which is down 6, 7.
Yeah.
I make a motion to accept the IT department request of $91,061.
Second,
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
like,
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Let's see. All right. So those are all the negatives, okay?
find the negative.
Yeah. And,
Culture and recreation is a minus, a negative 95.72.
oh yeah,
But didn't we already vote?
did we already vote for that? Well, the outside agencies, I think we voted those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we
On the
did
first
one
page.
line under culture and creation, which was park. So we didn't vote on the other ones under that. Tilton Events Committee, Memorial Day, and Park Maintenance Island. And $1 under Green Committee, but are we doing $1 or 0 under that?
I think it's 0 right now.
I would zero it out. I'm wondering why we've got 19.5 and the maintenance on the island. They spent 12. What's anticipated?
They had 19 last year and we've only spent,
Yeah.
the average was 1761. 18 to,
Well, that's a 3-year average,
Yeah.
but it looks like the unaudited, as of 12/1, they've spent 11,991.
who would speak on that, Bill?
Would be Jeannie,
What was that
So
on
that'll be
the,
in January.
yeah.
or one of those darn selectmen.
I don't know specifically, but there may be part of that. that
Yeah.
Has to do with recouping the bridge and the work that's being done there. There's been a grant for it too. So, because there will be restoration work done on the bridge.
Who's the Tilton Events Committee?
That was the 150th originally, and then
Oh, yeah.
we're past that. So
Halloween.
I was gonna say, yeah, that they did that one on
They did a big event
downtown.
on
Everybody
Halloween a
loved
few
that
years
one.
ago before COVID.
Right.
It was huge.
Yeah.
It was nice.
So the increase is to 25. Do we know what for? 2,500?
My guess is they just want to do more.
Now where, this might be a weird question that nobody can answer. Memorial Day was at 100, it's up to 500. Do our flags come out of that? Because I know some of the flags got beat this year.
Memorial Day's the wreath, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think, the flags that are around town?
Yeah,
I'm not sure where those came from.
just wondering where the budget item is.
Yeah,
for
do you
that.
know where the flags came from?
They were
Sorry,
purchased-
Scott.
They were purchased before I.
Okay. Yeah, they just sort of appeared, so I'm not sure, it must have been a selectman. That would be a question for Jeannie.
Tim will know as well. Guaranteed Tim will know where
Yeah, yeah,
it came from.
Memorial Day
Yeah.
was always, was the wreath out here?
on,
Was that when we put the wreath up
at the
on?
park cemetery.
Yep, and there was one up on Mary Baker Eddy Monument,
Oh, really? Okay,
yeah, up on, what is it, School Street?
School Street, yeah.
School in Colby.
School in Colby.
So is there a motion to vote on anything else here?
I have questions on a lot of them.
Huh? Yeah. If not, yeah, we could make a motion to adjourn. Unless, is there other?
Did you see the motion to adjourn word?
I was just asking if there was anything before we go to that. Yeah.
He opened the door, I just kicked it in.
Yeah,
We
yes,
did
right.
open it, I was
Yeah.
kicking it in.
So we do have flags as a question. Okay, so next meeting would be January
January 5th.
5th, yeah.
And that'll be Jeannie and the police chief.
Jeannie and the chief, yeah.
Are they confirmed?
Yes.
There's Tim. Tim, where did all the flags money come from?
Believe that was a grant.
Can we get a list of what we've got for grants and from where?
There's a lot of grants. I can see what we can put together.
Yeah, that'd be nice
There's
to
a
know.
number that are in process right now too, so. But the flags, I believe they were purchased out of the 150th money.
Okay,
Now that I think about it. I remember where we bought them from. But yeah.
yeah, that would make sense since not much of that money was spent.
Oh, that was instead of the ones that were gonna be sold,
Banners.
the banners.
Okay, right.
Okay. Yeah, there was money in there for banners.
That would make sense, yeah.
I forgot about that.
Okay,
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, folks. Have a great holiday.
Thank you, Dylan.
I
Merry
hope
Christmas to
Santa's
everybody.
good to you.
My best Santa with, nobody talks